Hey guys! I recently made a whole series of short-form videos about Purgatory, Fyre 150's first Super Mario World ROM hack. I did commentary over top of my first clear of each level, and I wanted to present them all in one place for you to see here. I hope you enjoyed the video. This is the first level of a ROM hack called Purgatory. The level is named Dionaea Ridges, and it features a lot of slopes and piranha plants. In Super Mario World, when you slide down a steep slope, it gives you more speed. We needed the extra speed to make that jump. God, these are such good games. I need to stand here and wait for these piranha plants to fire. Wow, is that where I got Killing Floor from? I love Killing Floor. Any of the yellow numbered platforms move faster than the green numbered platforms. I want to kind of recreate the hidden storage room that I had in the previous world. I think I showed that room off to Turtle once. I was very proud of it. It was behind a hidden piston door. Don't shoot me. Okay, well, I'm really glad I didn't just go there. Luminescent has poisoned me to try to get stars. This level is called Cetacean's Call. Cetaceans are an order of marine mammals, like dolphins. It took me a minute to figure that one out. This level is filled with dolphins and also bubbles. We have green bubbles and blue bubbles. The blue bubbles give you a high bounce off of them automatically. The green bubble you can stand on. We also have 3 different colors of dolphins. There are green, blue, and yellow dolphins, and they each jump progressively higher out of the water. There we go, in the pipe. But, I'm gonna need to ride on this green bubble through most of the rest of the level. I'm honestly not even sure what I would need to do in order to get world record in that game. Because, I think I only had... It was a small number of deaths. I'd say it was less than 10. But even if I were to take the... Here we're playing a level called Pipeline Blockage. This is a pretty dark level that's full of tight spaces with munchers lining the floors and ceilings. There were 1-tile gaps between those pipes right there. If you hold the jump button, it makes it free to run over 1-tile gaps. Ooh, okay. Pipe. Okay. Cool section. This is a level from Purgatory called Sea Moon. This entire level uses a gimmick called pressured water. We also call it Casio water, and what it does is it prevents me from swimming while I'm not on the ground. Once I grab this throw block, I have some very tight item swimming I have to do. You can only hold a throw block for so long before it just disappears. And I'm within a second of losing this block before I go in the pipe. Up, up, up. Thank you. Okay. Through here. I almost let that go too early. In this section, there's a dolphin swimming up the level. I'm gonna need him at the very top to go into a pipe, since I have to be standing on the ground to enter a sideways pipe. The dolphin is also the only safe place to stand through most of this stage. While you're item swimming, it does make you start to drift slightly upwards. It's the only way for me to get the height that I need in this section, but I also have to throw the block that I'm holding to clear a path upward for me. No! Okay. This is Pipeline Blockage. That's what all the kids are saying. This section has a lot of the moving pipes and spinies in it. Spinies, of course, can only be spin jumped on. And the moving pipes wait until you're close enough to them to actually start moving.
Okay.
Blue Koopas are special. Once you knock them out of their shell, you can jump off of them immediately. You don't have to wait for them to stand back up. Up ahead, there's a blue Koopa standing next to a long section of 1F0. That'll make the Koopa keep sliding along without stopping. Orb. This is Drifting Den. This whole level is built around these platforms that move automatically to the side and then fall once you stand on them. The other thing I'm going to have to watch out for are falling rocks. There's also some rocks towards the end of the cave just kind of bouncing around on their own. I need to avoid them without slowing down too much because I have to catch back up to that platform that's on the top.
Perfect. All right.
There are some green blocks with skulls on them right here. These are safe for rocks to go through, but they would unalive Mario if he touched them.
That level editor that's circling around now, is that the same one that we saw before? Oh, just barely under that rock. All right.
This level is called Road to Nowhere. We're going to be seeing a lot of the cracked bridge blocks. Those cracked bridge blocks will break automatically when I touch them, and they'll also bounce me slightly up into the air. The brown platforms expect to be on a line-guided track, and when they're just kind of left to hang out in the air, they fall instantly once you touch them. And this brown platform is going to land on a block type that just makes it keep falling horizontally at the same speed.
H.
We're going to be using the broken bridge blocks in a different way. Here I need to bounce through all of these to waste enough time for the piranha plant to come down low enough for me to bounce off him. And then up ahead there are two columns of broken bridge blocks with a gap between them. I need to avoid hitting any of those bridge blocks.
Flavoring packets? I did not even see that last block.
Now, we kaizo players are a cowardly and superstitious lot. When I see an orb just sitting out in the middle of nowhere, I expect for there to be a kaizo block preventing me from grabbing it.
Oh, okay.
Sudden orb chases are a really fun gimmick. And this one is following a path that's easy enough to follow, and well indicated enough that you can get through it on your first try.
All right. First try orb.
This is Woodland Tango. The first half of this level has a really heavy focus on pencils. There's some of them that are kind of hiding behind other logs in the foreground, and they'll get you if you're not careful. I can stand on that small branch with the leaf on it, and I use that to exit the top of the screen to get to the next section. So I can't safely touch any blocks that have skulls on them, and we have two different kinds of Bowser statues. Gray ones that are bouncing up and down, I can land safely on those Bowser statues. Then we also have gold Bowser statues that I cannot safely land on. And through this section I've got rocks falling that are going to keep me from slowing down, and I have to use the last one that falls to get up on top of this wall.
Well, that was a bad jump, but it kind of worked out for me. The Great Barrier Reef?
What? No, Dove. This is Purgatory by Fyre 150. And you'd know that if you weren't so busy showboating out there. Just look at him go. Spinning and jumping and flying about. It's just another day at the office for Germ Dove. If I tried this, TikToks aren't allowed to be that long. Hell, I don't even think YouTube videos can be that long.
Nice.
Indeed.
I could have wall jumped off of that, but that would have been pretty hard to do.
Oh, for sure. Not like everything else that led up to that point. That was a walk in the park. Just don't put yourself out on account of us. You play your little game. We'll just wait.
Ooh, that was close.
Was it? Because at this point, I honestly don't even know what I'm looking at anymore. What is this, Celeste?
Alright.
Well played, Dove. Now wrap this up and we can all get out of here. Wait, what? What are you doing?
Oh, it's there.
What's there? Oh no, he's showboating again. Somebody stop him.
Yump.
Oh, come on!
This is Woodland Tango.
Right.
This first section in the level has a lot of obscured pencils in it. Pencils are actually a lot more dangerous than you'd expect. They've got this sharp pokey bit on the end that'll hurt you, but also their hitbox extends out just a little bit, which makes it so that they'll stop you even if you're not directly touching them. You have to give a really wide area of leeway to avoid them entirely. These last few jumps I need to stall and wait for an opening to get through these pencils safely.
Fair to say.
Now that we're here in the second section, we still have a bunch of pencils, but we also have a bunch of Bowser statues. Primarily what we're dealing with are the gold Bowser statues, which I can safely spin jump off of, and they're gonna jump at me to chase me. This one here is extra fast, and I don't know that I've ever dealt with one of those before.
I should not be jumping there. But I'm at least keeping track of where I am when I'm behind those trees.
There's one last pencil here underneath the hidden block. It's keeping me from standing underneath it. I also need to have some momentum to get a high enough jump to get on the block after I've hit it.
There we go.
This is Prickly Climb. This level is introducing us to a couple of new things. The first are these little yellow dots that are on the side of the walls. I can stand on those, but to do so I must press into the wall for that to work. That makes it especially difficult to jump away from a wall, because I need to be pressing into the wall in order to stand on it, and then quickly swap away to holding the opposite direction once I jump.
Which, saying that feels like a weird thing for it. Or a weird place for it, I mean. Give me that checkpoint.
The other thing that we're introduced to in this level are these blue and pink vines. They're only active for me to be able to climb on them when I have the corresponding on-off state set. Pretty much what it means is that I need to hit every on-off block I come across, or else I just have nothing to grab onto. Now this green vine at the end here, grabbing onto it and then jumping up off of it in order to hit the turn blocks is harder than it looks. Because if I just hold down the up button, it's going to grab onto the vine immediately when I press the jump button and prevent me from being able to actually jump. This is Muddied and Barbed. This level introduces us to a couple new variations on the spiny enemy. We have the brown spinies, which cannot be safely spin jumped on. These serve to act as an obstacle that can't just be bypassed with a spin jump. And then we also have flashing spinies that explode when they're spin jumped on. I can do a full bounce to escape their blast radius, and the spiny explosion also kills other spinies that are near.
They're not technically jank.
This last brown spiny is walking on some munchers. That only gives me one spot to land to go in the pipe.
There we go. Basically, I think it was a 48 hour donation drive for his mom who got hurt? Sick? I'm sorry, my memory is not great while I'm playing. And one of the incentives that he had was to make a new Quickie World. That got met. Another one was to make
Quickie World 3. This is Dangan Falls. This level has a lot of these balance lifts in it, where when you stand on one side, it goes down and lifts up the other side. I'm using it a few times to hit something that would ordinarily be out of my reach. Now here I need the right platform to be low enough for me to jump to it without hitting my head. Then I want it to be as far down as I can make it, and I'll use the block and the nub to jump to the left side.
Hey, there we go.
In this part of the level, I'm racing 2 different P-switch timers. A P-switch turns coins into brown blocks, and brown blocks into coins. So if I'm too slow here, I won't have any floor to stand on. Hitting a question block actually destroys a bullet bill that's next to it. You have exactly 1 frame to be able to jump off of a P-switch.
I don't know why I went for that.
This is Supercool Fusion. This water is controlled by the on-off switches. When the switch is off, it's water. When the switch is on, it turns into ice. That lets me stand on top of the ice. I have to be careful not to turn it into ice as I'm in the water. That'll freeze me solid and I'll have to try again. Now there's a key here. I'm gonna have to take this all the way over to the right side. You can grab a key and jump at the same time. You have to press both buttons on the same frame, which gives me a 60th of a second in order to do this trick. I also need to be spinning to bounce off of the urchin. You can't naturally spin jump while you're holding an item, so I normally throw it up in the air and catch it with a spin jump to start my spin. There's a rope up top that prevents me from throwing it up, so I have to do a spinning key jump. This was my first time getting here, and I wasn't sure which way to go. This way, thankfully, leads to the exit.
Uh-oh.
I have to time my swim to not get frozen.
There we go.
This is Chocolate Disco. We're gonna see a few different kinds of these disco shells in here. This one is just a standard disco shell. I need to make sure that I hit these on-off switches so it has ground to make it across the gap. It's gonna hit a bounce block. That lets me jump off of it above the skulls, which would otherwise be very dangerous.
Oh, okay. We've got a floating disco shell. I didn't expect that. Please bounce me to the right.
So the direction that disco shells bounce you is determined by where on the shell you touch it. Touching the right side pushes you to the right, and touching the left side kicks you over to the left.
God, this thing's terrifying.
With a spiny disco shell, you can't do a normal jump off of them.
Okay, alright.
And spinning off of them doesn't change your direction.
Oh, thank goodness.
Now, the flying disco shells work pretty much the same as regular disco shells. The only difference is that they don't fall when there's no floor underneath them. These holes in the floor are dangerous for me, but the disco shell can go right over them. I need to make sure I keep ahead of this one that comes in from up top. I do have to slow down a little bit to use these note blocks, but I have to get past here before it hits the on-off switch. Now this platform is attached to a disco shell, so I need to stand on the right side of the platform for it to chase me over to the right.
Alright. I can reset it, that way we can hear it again. Yump!
This level makes use of a mechanic where the on-off switch controls the state of the water. While the on-off switch is off, it's water. While the on-off switch is on, it's ice. Since we have so much water, I'm going to spend a lot of time item swimming in this level. Item swimming makes you automatically go forward and drift slightly up in the water. I'm going to need this throw block at the end of the section to break a turn block, but I also have 3 urchins that are in the way I need to get rid of. So I drop the block into them, that lets me pick it back up. I feel like I need to slow down there. The on-off switch also controls a wall that keeps me from moving forward unless I have the block in the right state. It's not really necessary because I wouldn't physically be able to move forward if it was set wrong. An important thing about throw blocks is that they only last for so long. They'll just disappear out of your hand if you don't throw them in time. I just barely have enough time to throw both of these blocks that I get.
There we go. This should do it.
There's also a couple of fish coming down from the ceiling to keep me from staying in one place.
Perfect. Alright. I really like that section.
This is Toxicavity. This toxic green sludge is absolutely no good for Mario's health. There are 2 different kinds of platforms that you're going to see here. A purple one that kind of bobs up and down in the sludge. That platform I can reuse if I jump off of it, just slightly before it gets dunked completely in the sludge. And a green one that sits slightly above the sludge. Once I land on that one, it just goes straight down and it does not come back up. Wait. Hit all of the turn blocks. There we go. Speaking of TikTok, a little bit of shameless self-promotion here. I have had more than 1 million views on my TikTok account in the past week. Frankly, I am as surprised as anybody else. It's mostly all between two videos. In that pipe. This is Searing Subterrane. This level finds Mario in some hot water, or actually a volcano. The air is so hot he just can't survive for very long. There's a bar to the left of Mario that's filling up as he's running around. Mario's only respite are these areas that have the blue wooden background on them. Those are able to cool Mario back down and let him keep running around. I think you can make the trip all in one go, but I was having trouble with running out of time, so I went back to the safe place right underneath that pipe. This spring that I'm picking up right now is the only way that I can get up into the pipe. I'm supposed to be dropping the spring on the coin. Instead, I dropped it really far to the left and it's just barely usable to get in the pipe. We're gonna grab this spring at the bottom of the room. Getting over to that on-off, we use it to get up to another safe area. We also use it to get high enough to hit this on-off block. This outlined block right here is a note block that's going to come up at the end of the room. We're going to cool off here one more time before making a break to the exit. Now, Mario can't hold any items while he's on the vine, so I did that little juggling trick. Where am I going? In the pipe. Okay. This is jump in altitude. The two main features in this level are the very steep slopes and the sticky ceilings. These very steep slopes are used in the vanilla Super Mario World game. They are really hard to keep your balance on. We also have ice physics here, so that makes it a little harder. Now, the graphic here of the cement block with the snow on the bottom of it, that's a sticky ceiling. I stay stuck to the bottom of those blocks as long as I'm holding down the jump button. Hey! Awesome. I'm not sure how I managed to double eat those piranha plants the first time I was. If the side of the sticky ceiling is open to the air, you jump high up into the air as you come off the side of it. I don't think. We're now riding atop the most dangerous enemy in the level, this terrifying green dinosaur. We ate a red shell and that lets us spit out fire. That turns an entire group of red Koopas into coins. We temporarily left the green dinosaur before reuniting with him. We have to eat the 3 piranha plants that are in the way. That's more like it. We're finally free of the green dinosaur, and this is the part where very steep slopes get difficult. Alright, be nice to me. No, let me in. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, what a pipe. Thank you.
This is Summit of Salvation, a level from Purgatory. This level is built around one core enemy, all these little Jeffrey Bezos who are flitting about. The first section of the level is straightforward enough, using the Bezos as platforms before hitting this on-off switch a few times to get a spring to jump on.
Okay, it's like that. Alright, good enough.
The second section is super cool. Germ has to keep up with this tower of 5+1 Bezos, picking one off the top when necessary to use as a throwable object to help him sneak under a low ceiling, or both. Unfortunately for the adorable ninjas, there's no way past them that doesn't involve clobbering them with a Bezos. Sorry, ninjas.
Alright. That's a cool section.
It was. In this final section, the level goes vertical. Again plagued by Bezos, Germ must make his way up through the level using these 2 rising platforms to help him. He also has to contend with a few Koopas. Here, Germ waits for the right moment to jump up and on the Bezos, using them to reach the final pipe.
There we go.
I'm not allowed to say what we normally call these little wall climbing stubs. Anyway, with only a few more jumps to go, Germ's kaizo senses are tingling. Yep, the hidden block. And with a couple more jumps and a moment later, he reaches the
Star. I wonder if that would have killed me.
Probably.
This is Paradise, the final level from Purgatory. This section brings back the bubbles from a previous level. Breaking a bubble frees whatever enemy is inside of it, and slows down my falling just a little bit. I'm gonna bounce off of the Koopa from the bubble, and then also hit the fish bubble to wait for the shell to get in place. Alright, well, that was pretty quick. This section is based around spinies. I can't safely spin bounce off of the brown spinies, and there's also the glowing spiny that explodes when I spin off of it. I have to use this block because I can't just reach the vine. Perfect, alright. That fish is trying to be my friend. I need to follow the green urchin that's at the bottom of the screen. Along the way there's some on-off blocks. They control whether or not some blocks are solid, and they also turn the water back and forth into ice. I have to hit both of these blocks and then get up on the vine. Okay. This room is full of very steep slopes and sticky ceilings. So we get Yoshi stuck to the ceiling here, and we need to eat the piranha plants to let us through. The very steep slopes are dangerous to jump off of because as you move away from the slope, Mario actually falls off the side of it, and you just can't jump. Now we had some choices that we could make during the rest of Paradise, but this is the final section where I need to use this flying vine to go up to the top. It's kind of weaving back and forth between the open area and the spiky walls, so I can't just hold on to it the whole time. Super Mario World allows you to run freely over a one-tile gap by holding the jump button. This last jump is very difficult. Alright. And so he left, soaring towards salvation. It's over!